Welcome to another episode of Family Over Everything, episode 7, I believe. It's been a little bit, but we're back. I'm here with the homie I've known over 10 years, maybe.
Yeah, a little bit
Class of
longer
09, South Miami. Shout out. Reunion this month, I think.
Is it really?
I think so.
I didn't know we were supposed to have one.
Yeah. Here with Dr. Juan Guzman, DPT, CPT, CSCS.
That's the one.
There it is.
Yeah.
We'll get into what all that means for those that don't know. But yeah, man, glad you did this.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming through.
Happy
I know
to be here.
Your schedule is pretty crazy, so I'm glad you fit me in, man.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hell yeah. Bro, honestly, my main thing where I always like to start off, just take me back. Take me back to where...
To where I was drawing a freaking album cover for you in RJT?
Yeah, nah, definitely.
Was that 2000
But it's not about me. Today's not about me.
Yeah.
Today's about you.
I get you.
So where did... I know you've always been into fitness, always been into health.
Yeah.
But where did it finally hit you where like, this is where I want my life to go. This is the direction I want to go in.
Yeah.
This is what I want to study. This is where I want to go that far to get your doctorate and all that stuff. So take me back.
Dude, honestly, like, I wasn't sure I was going to be a physical therapist till I was maybe like late high school. I thought I was going to be a civil engineer like my dad, first of all, or a mechanical engineer or something like that, because I like drawing, I like design, and I was in South Miami for art. Right. And so I thought I was always going to do something like that, or graphic design or something. And then like I knew I like people. I like dealing with people. My aunt's a physical therapist, and she would always take me to like those Take Your Child to Work days. Okay. She would take me to her office, and I was doing ultrasound on people like at 9 and 10 years old. Just literally, she was like, look, all you gotta do is
That's
put
not
this
legal.
little whatever. This was back in the day. Right. So like, just put it on the person, like keep on moving it around in circles or whatever. And she would always watch me or whatever, but always make me feel like empowered, and I was like helping somebody. Right. So that was always a feeling that like, you know, you can't get from a lot of professions. And so I knew I wanted to do something along those lines. And then, so 2009 rolls around, you graduate, whatever, then you got to go to school. So I knew I wanted to be PT, go to FIU, go pre-physical therapy program, and everything's set. Like, you got your classes set up, all that stuff. Go to orientation, pre-physical therapy, chosen, all that stuff, good to go. Walk in first semester, pre-physical therapy is no longer a program. Like, you just are at FIU, now you're paying all this money for tuition, and you don't even have a major. So it was like undecided. So I was undecided major for about a year before I was like, you know, I'm going to do nutrition.
And this is still you're doing the general education classes?
Yeah, general education classes. I mean, I took some AP classes in high school, so I had some of those taken out, like English. I didn't have to do any of that stuff. But like the sciences, I was doing that stuff. And then, so I took a nutrition elective, and I was like, this is pretty cool. This is dope, whatever. And I wanted to go the nutrition route to then get the DPT later, because you needed a bachelor's degree, and then you needed 3 more years to do your doctorate. And so I was like, all right, so I'll be an RD/DPT/this/ however many initials I can get behind my name, I'm gonna get.
For sure.
Yeah, that's what I thought I wanted to do. But then I did my 4 years of nutrition with the intention of being an RD and then apply for DPT. But I was like, you know what? Like, this was when Herbalife started coming around, and everybody was like listening to Herbalife and like the Instagram models and shit, and they were like promoting it. And I was like, people are gonna listen to whoever they want to listen to. Like, you
didn't one of their CEOs just get like
possibly
hella sued?
Possibly. I mean, I don't doubt it, but no, it's the same shit. It's like people will listen to a person who has like 1.8 million followers over somebody who has an actual education over what they're prescribing, right? And then so I was like, I don't want to spend an 1,800-hour internship doing something and paying for something that I'm not really going to enjoy just to get 2 letters, RD, you know. And there's so much gray area with that stuff. And as a personal trainer, you can kind of give nutrition consults, but you can't do like one-on-ones. Right. You can give general information. And I was like, I can help people that way, and like I can fulfill that need if that's what I want without having to go through that 1,800 hours. So then I go, I applied for PT school after I graduate, or while I'm graduating from FIU for undergrad, and because that's what I want. I want to go straight from undergrad to grad school. And it was like... You
didn't take any time off?
No.
Straight through?
No. I went straight through, or so I wanted to go straight through, and then I didn't get accepted.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. So I was like, no, screw the RD program, which I pretty much was going to get into. And then I was like, no, screw that. I don't want to do that. I'm going to do DPT all the way or whatever. And I applied. I did FIU, and I did I did my interviews and all that stuff. I got into FIU, and I declined. And I was like, no, I want UM. And then didn't get in. You know, I waited till how was it, like March, and then
what did that feel like?
Fucking failure, dude. like someone telling you're not good enough. Like that's exactly what that felt like. I wasn't used to that, you know.
You definitely you start looking at yourself and shit like, what the fuck? Like,
so I cried for like 2 weeks, dude.
Yeah.
I cried. I was like, you know, fuck PT. Like I don't want to do that anymore. I'll just stay being a trainer, all that stuff. And I had a pretty decent job. Like I was pulling anywhere from 65 to 75K a year at the job that I had. But
this is when you were at Orange Theory?
Yeah. Okay. And it was like training full time in a sense, right? But I didn't want that, and I wanted to know more about the body. So like I knew that part of me, that like curiosity, wasn't fulfilled with the education that I had, and I needed to get more. Mm-hmm. And I wanted to feel confident with someone's like, oh, Juan, I can't do a squat because my knee, I have a meniscus issue. And I was like, all right, then we'll do like arm exercise, whatever, because I didn't know. I wanted to know. And so I was like, nah, fuck this. I'm not giving up on this. Is this my dream? Is it really my dream? Then let's fucking do it. Right. So I got myself together, and I was like, all right, so how do I make my application stronger for the following year? So I got together with one of my friends who actually knows someone in admissions over there, and was like, got me a meeting with them, and I'm like, yo, I want to go to UM next year. What do I need to do? Look at my application. What do I need to fix? She's like, you need to take chemistry, you need to take this, you need to take that all over again to get an A. And I was like, what else do I have to do? Because that ain't gonna happen, right? There was like, it's too close. So he's like, all right, so everybody coming in PT school, you have like all outpatient hours, whatever, that's everybody. Diversify yourself. So like I got observation hours in acute care, I got inpatient rehab, I got pediatric. Like, so I understood a lot more about PT as a profession, rather than just, oh, you hurt your knee, I'm gonna come over here and I'm gonna fix your knee. Right. You know, there's a lot more that goes into it, and so understanding those different depths of the profession itself made me more equipped to handle what PT school was. And I thank God that I took that year off.
It just made you overall better student.
Yeah, it made me a better student. Yeah. So like actually, when I took those classes, I took my neuro PT. I was like, oh, I remember working with a patient while I was volunteering that had this condition. So I was able to apply what I learned in class, like going back in time, like this is what I would have done with that patient had I been working with them. So it gave me real world application for what I was doing. But going back, it just like how everything plays out, like the year that I had off, my mom actually and my aunt both, they didn't get laid off, but they had to quit their jobs. And so I was kind of supporting a lot at the house. And so had I been in school, we would have been in a lot more of a stressful situation, and I wouldn't have had to. It was like, it's tough when your mom comes at you and it's like, tough for her and tough for me too, because like I wasn't prepared for it financially in a sense, but thank God I wasn't. I was like saving up money. Yeah. But she's like, yo, I need help. I need money for rent. Like, we don't have rent. And I was like, could you have told me like a week before? I could have prepared maybe. Like, but no, it's like, no, like we need rent yesterday. And I was like, all right, bro. I can pull out my checkbook, like write a $1,700, $1,800 check, like from one day to the next, and like, thank God I had that, you know, because I was able to supply my family with something that they needed. It's like a big thank you to them for what they've done for me in the past. Oh, for sure. But yeah, so that entire year was kind of like, you know, spotting my family for that stuff when they couldn't make ends meet, and then like it felt good, and it felt good to have that money on the side. But I knew that my goal was eventually PT school, and I was going to get in the next year, you know, and like I just had to beef up the application, put in the hours, put in the honesty, and like literally tell UM like, yo, you're my goal. Like, that's what I want. I'm going to make it happen. So I did that.
Like, yo, I'm born and raised here. Like, UM is in my blood.
Yeah, UM's got to be. And it's a top 10 school. So, like, I want to go here. Like, it's top 10 school, and it's local. It's great. It's, like, the professors are freaking awesome. So, like, I want to learn from these guys. And that's exactly what happened. And so, did the interview for UM. Same concept. Like, I redid the interview at FIU. The second time I applied, got in like right away. Like the guys like, we'll send you your application, your acceptance letter next week, but like you're in. And I was like, straight, I'm gonna be a PT with or without UM. It's gonna happen. Yeah. 2-3 months later, UM sends me an acceptance letter. I'm like, FIU what?
Fuck FIU.
So I was like,
shout out FIU.
Yeah, shout out. All right. But yeah, they gave me my undergrad, but I wanted UM for grad school. That's what I did. And so I accepted UM, put in my deposit, and I was like, it's real, it's gonna happen. Got into PT school, did my thing. It was like when I was volunteering, I was working anywhere from 70 to 75 hours a week. You know, some paid, some not paid, and I was still waking up 4:30 in the morning. Like, no, teaching at 4:30 in the morning, then going to work 8 to 4 or 7 to 4 in a volunteering position. I was changing in my car 3 or 4 times, or 3 times in a day. I would have 3 different uniforms: Orange Theory in the morning, then I'd have a neuro PT uniform, and then I'd have doctor's hospital uniform that I had to wear in the afternoon, like one day.
You're an animal.
At a stoplight, just like,
oh shit, yeah. No,
taking off my shirt. Yeah, but I did what I had to do to do what I wanted. And so when I got that acceptance letter from University of Miami, it was like, congratulations, you've been accepted into the class of cohort of 2019.
I hope you have that framed.
Yeah,
I
have it on my Instagram. That's the best I can do, bro. That's because I also have the denial letter on there too. So I'm like,
I'd have those motherfuckers right next to each other. Hell
that's what I'm saying. So like, it just goes to show you like the hard work that you put in, the honesty, and like, I never had any hidden agendas. It was always like, yo, this is what I want. I'm gonna be straightforward with you. Like, if you can accept that, great. Give me some advice, and we'll go from there. Right. But I never really believe in having hidden agendas. I believe in being as straightforward as possible, and you'll get what you want, or you'll get what you don't want, and eventually see 2 years down the road, 1 year down the road, that it worked out for a reason. Like not getting into PT school, fucking crushed, but had to help my family for the next year. How would I have known that? I had no idea. We were living just fine. And then got my acceptance letter. Great.
What were those first? What was that first semester like? Like
fucking hard.
Was it like, yo, this is real now?
Yeah. So like, for a lot of people, like they got into PT school coming out of undergrad, so they were good. Like they had that study vibe. They were still in the zone or whatever. And for them, they had to fight the burnout that came like 2 years later or a year later, because they've been going straight to school for so long. Right. For me, I had that year off where I was just, not worrying about anything. Like I was worrying about getting into school, and I was worried about, but I didn't have homework and any of that stuff.
Right.
I didn't have tests. I didn't have any of that. So like, you go home, you clock out, and you clock back in the next day. Yeah, I was waking up early. Yeah, I was going to sleep late, but like I didn't have that extra stress looming over you the whole time. But that first semester of PT school, it was hard. It hit me like a bag of bricks. Like I failed my first PT exam. I got a 71. And you need to get a 75 to pass. And I failed it just because I was working my ass off, and I was like, no, I can do both, and you really can't. Right. So I studied how I studied for undergrad, which was fairly easy, and it didn't cut it. It was grad school. It's a different story. So I immediately told Orange Theory, I was like, yo, I can't teach these afternoon classes. It's messing with my schedule. I still need to make money to like eat, but I don't need to teach those last 2 classes. I need to pass PT school, which is what I worked so hard for. Like, and I started like, same shit, bro. You start crying. You're like, yo, you evaluate yourself. You're like, am I worth it? Am I good enough? Am I going to be a good PT if I can't even pass the first exam?
Right.
And that whole first.
Start reflecting heavy.
Bro,
start looking at
everything. You look at the past, you look at how much hard work you had the year past and all that stuff. And then you see it all crumble inside you, and you're just like, fuck, damn. And so you just step it up, man. It's just another speed bump.
And it's crazy hearing that from you, because like, as long as I've known you, bro, you've always been like an academic. Like,
dude,
like,
yeah.
Like,
I was
you've always
fifth
been
in our class, bro.
You've always been like, yo, Juan G's that guy. You need help, he's your guy.
Exactly.
With no matter what subject.
That's
so for you to tell me, because I used to want to do PT, but that was before I found out PT was a doctorate.
Yeah.
At first, I thought it was just a bachelor's, and cool, fire. But when I found out, no, it's a doctorate now.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
thank you for your time. Definitely give it to somebody else.
Yeah, for sure.
But that was just me, because I knew myself enough where like, yo, if I start this, I don't think I'm gonna make it.
For sure.
Because my mind is gonna be on other things.
I get you.
But hearing you be like, yo, I failed my first test, and I was like, God damn, that's crazy, dude. That's crazy.
It sucked. It really sucked. And like, you fail your first test, and people are complaining that they got a 95, and I'm like,
go suck a dick.
But
I'll be so pissed. You'd be like, what?
It is what it is, man. And even then, like, I was studying my ass off, but then I was helping other people study and like creating quizzes and stuff for people, just because I didn't want anyone to happen to like what happened to me happen to them. Right. But yeah, it was hard. I was asking for help left and right, and we just got through it.
And
like,
do you have the same people in all your classes pretty much?
Yeah,
like
so we're like one cohort.
Okay,
we came in class of 2019. We started out like 61, 62 people, and then we ended up with like 59. Okay. But like that school, is all about, once you're in there, they don't want to let you go. So like, they'll work with you, they'll help you out, they'll give you tutors, like they'll partner, awesome. Like you partner up with another student, and they're just like, yo, we got to bring you up. And so that's what I liked about it. I like the camaraderie of my program. It's not cutthroat.
I didn't know that. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's not cutthroat like other.
Some of the schools are like, oh, sorry.
Yeah, they're like, yo, I'm sorry. Yeah. Thanks for your $11,000 this semester. Like, peace, I'll see you later. Yeah. Like, not trying to help you. You failed your first exam, you out. You know, like that kind of stuff. has their own like policies and stuff on that, but typically they're like very, very concerned about like, yo, is it work? Are you doing too much? Is it that? So we have a meeting, and then they're like, yo, you need to do this, this, and this. And I was like, all right, fine, I'll do it.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. So
that makes me love them even more now.
Exactly. So yeah, I got through it, man. And that first semester was it was tough because it was getting used to studying again and studying at a different level and studying in a way that I didn't study, because I'm very critical thinking, kind of like, you give me a problem, I'll find a solution if I know the material, in a sense. Anatomy was more like, did you memorize? Did you memorize every single body part? Did you memorize every single muscle? Did you memorize every origin, insertion, like action, nerve innervation? Like, no, I didn't. Like,
was it ever like very repetitive? Like, you're looking over the same things for this class, and it's the same in another? No, it's different?
No, it's different, yeah. Maybe once you got into like the more different course, like neuro, like you had neuro eval and you had neuro rehab 2. Like maybe then you could use certain things, but like never really was it like that. So you were studying for one class specifically, you were studying muscles, origins, and all that stuff. The other class you were studying like, who created physical therapy? Like that was the first semester. And so they gave you 2 like kind of BS classes, in the sense that like they weren't as hard as anatomy, just because they want you to pass. They want you to focus on anatomy, but they still need to get that part of the curriculum in to your program. So that's where they put it in. But yeah, that first semester was just, it rocked me. And then from that first semester moving forward, I had a new respect for the school, and I had a new respect for school itself, in grad school. And studying was completely different. Hours were spent studying versus 30 minutes, 40 minutes here at a time. Like, I spent solid blocks of my time studying. Find different ways to study to kind of learn things. Don't study like I used to. So I would study like this small piece of information and then apply it to multiple things. And in that first semester, it wasn't. It was study all those multiple things and then be able to apply it to a general concept. So it was backwards, and I wasn't used to that, but I found a way, and then we just got through it. I just got like 71 on the first exam, got like a 78 on the second one, which was improvement.
And it's that gradual improvement.
Yeah, and then like an 85 on the last one. Right. Yeah, anatomy was like my worst grade in PT school. Everything else was like A's, but anatomy was A's and B's. Anatomy was, I'm on recording, so I can't. A's and B's.
This is a good
exactly. I graduated with a higher GPA in PT school, grad school, than I did in undergrad. And that's a goal, right? So I had 3.5 in undergrad. I graduated with like a 3.7. Yeah. So I'm fine. Awesome. I'm fine with that. And plus, nobody asks you your GPA unless someone says it.
Right.
Yeah, but no. But yeah, that's pretty much what it was, man. It was learning how to study all over again, and then just get through the grind, because I was working the entire time too. I never stopped working in PT school. That was primarily because I was building a brand. Like I was telling you earlier, like I think it was very important for people to invest in me as a person, more so than a graduate of UM. Right? They got to know Juan G. They got to know Juan. They got to know what gets me up in the morning and what puts me to sleep at night. And that's what I made very visible on my social media. And then I use that as a platform for people to get to know me and understand, waking up at 3:30 in the morning, out my house before 4 o'clock in the morning, coaching at 4:30, 5:30, school, 8 to 5, 8 to 4, 8 to 7 sometimes, then studying for 2 to 3 hours and doing that shit all over again, And so I believe that during that time, people really understood who I was, and they empathized with me, and that's kind of what's led to the success of my practice right now. It's that the same thing. I never had any hidden agendas. I just wanted you to understand. I wanted you to get it. I wanted you to understand why sometimes I came in and I was sleepy. I wanted you to understand like why we're on a first date and I'm yawning. Like, you've been on my Instagram.
Like, it's not you, I promise.
Yo, it's definitely not you. Sometimes it was her. Sometimes it was me. But what I'm saying is, like, I want you to get That's me, great. Man. I want you to get my struggle. And there's no other way that I can do that unless you follow me throughout a day. Like, I never posted like every single day, but like, on my long days, you better believe you saw me from 3 a.m, and you saw me at 11:30 at night. You saw me do it again the next day.
Did you ever feel at any point with how things are changing now, did you ever feel any kind of like pressure to put your life on social media as open as you do? Like damn, I need a post. I haven't posted in a while. Or like,
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I feel that too, but with like the other stuff.
Yeah.
And sometimes you just get in this mood like, damn, I don't really feel like posting, or I don't really have anything to post. But like, did you ever feel that pressure at first when you're trying to build that brand? Like, yo, I have to be on this.
For
like,
sure.
Things are changing.
For sure.
Like,
if you want to have your own practice, if you want to have your own business, if you want to have your business be successful, then use the platforms that are there. Right? If you want to work a 9 to 5, if you don't give a fuck, then like, I'm not saying that people that work, right. Like do that. Like you don't need a social media to survive. I can live without it. I'm fine without Instagram, without the likes, without any of that stuff. But in order to build my company, in order to build who I am as a business, it's necessary in today's
and also you market. Need that to funnel through all the bullshit that there is online now. Like, and that's where I kind of wanted to like move into and ask you how you felt about being educated, having the credentials you have, being legitimate, you know? And that's the one thing I respect the most, because like I have the fitness background too, obviously not as in depth as you do, so I see it too, and it bothers me. So I want to know how it makes
you're talking about Herbalife people, like talking about nutrition and
like fucking I'm starting a fitness page and like, yo, you don't like, what do you know? You know how to do a couple squats, you know how to do a couple bench presses, like, but what do you know?
So well, how can you help me? I can talk about the difference then. So like, what people don't understand is being a professional, like you have a responsibility, right? So I have a governing body. I have the American Physical Therapy Association that like, if I fuck up, if I say the wrong information, if I put something on Instagram that's in print that says Dr. Juan Guzman DTP, I'm liable for that. Right. Someone followed that information and they did it for themselves. They got hurt. They can come and sue me. They can do whatever they want. And then APTA has to come after me and they have to come after my license. So that 8 years that I spent in school can go away like that. Right. You don't have a degree. You don't have a certification. You don't respect personal training enough to even go get an NCSF like online or something like that. Mm-hmm. What kind of business do you have telling somebody else what to do? Right. You get me? Just because you lost weight, just because you feel like you're fit right now and you can put something on. So this is how I did it. Like, no one's going to come after you. You can't get sued for that stuff. Like, no one's going to come after your 8 years of education. No one's going to come after what you worked so hard to get, what you cried for, what you sweat for, what you busted your brain for, what you screamed for. Like that's every time that I post something online, that's kind of what I think about. Mm-hmm. It's like someone can come and just take this away from me. Right. So
and I'm not going to let that happen.
Exactly. I can't let that happen,
For sure. No, this is your life.
It's life. Right. Yeah. But I feel like sometimes that responsibility is not taken seriously when it comes to social media. It's people just post stuff up there just to have a post, to have a like, or to get a sponsorship, or to get an ad or something like whatever. One of these smaller companies advertises like a fucking waist trainer, whatever, a sweatband. Like, do you know that when you put that on as tight as you can to get a thinner waist, that you're actually compressing your diaphragm and you can't expand, so you're going to end up like hyperventilating, or you're going to end up not being able to breathe right while you're working out. Right. Did you say that? Did you say that in your post, or did you just say like take it out and you had abs?
No,
like
you definitely left that out.
I'm pretty sure you left that out. So it's things like that, secondary things that people don't think about. Right. And that's where I don't want to say I come in, because I don't go in there and I say that stuff to them. I don't again waste my time going on somebody's page and saying, hey, your information is inaccurate.
Right. No, you're not that guy either. Yeah, that's not your style.
I'm posting up what I think is true and what I think is useful, and then sometimes my videos suck, sometimes they're good, most of the time they're educational, so you're going to learn something new, and I'm going to say it in a way that people are going to understand it. Like, I don't need to say these big words, I don't need to say biological terms, I don't need to do all that stuff to make someone understand what I want them to do or what I want them to understand from the post.
No, and your page gives that off. Yeah. Like, you're not trying to do too much. Yeah. You're giving what you know. On my page is information. Correct. It's coming from a genuine place. Yeah. An educated place. Yeah. And it's not bullshit.
Exactly.
So.
Yeah, I'm not trying to fluff. I'm not trying to. Yeah, I'm not trying to do smoke and mirrors. Like, yo, you see my logo, you know that you're gonna get some educational shit right after it, and just swipe right, and you'll be fine. Or swipe left. I don't know how it's swipe left.
One of those.
One of those. It's not Tinder, but yeah. So yeah, that's pretty much it, man. It's one post. That's how I kind of structured my page. It's like one educational post, one about like fitness or whatever I'm doing. And because I not only do my physical therapy, but I'm also group fitness and all that. I think there's a huge relationship between group fitness, overall health, and, you know, like that
Which one
kind
do
of
you
cycle.
prefer, the group or a one-on-one? Or you have your
I
own,
live with both.
Your pros and cons.
Dude, I honestly live with both.
Yeah.
I would not be able to be who I am if I did 40 hours in the clinic. Like, I can't do that. I do 25 clinic and I do 20 hours doing group fitness. Like, work 45 to 50 hours a week. I know that didn't add up in math. I was only 45, but you know what I'm saying? Like, they mesh.
We got you. It's late. You're tired.
Yeah, no, it's cool. It's cool. Yeah. And so I wouldn't be able, like, analyzing who I am as a person. The group fitness aspect, where I see anywhere from 40 to 60 people a day, new faces, or I get to figure out like how their day was the day before, their weekend was, like that fulfills me. And then taking somebody who came in and was like, Juan, I can't walk without this limp, man. It hurts so bad. And then take them from a session where their pain was 8 out of 10 to a 4 or a 3 out of 10 to like, Juan, I haven't walked this way in a while. Thank you so much. Like, that's it fulfills a different part of who I am. Right. And so I think, like I said, they complement each other, and it complements me. It makes me complete when it comes to what I'm doing to provide a service for the general public. I provide you with the feel-good feeling when you're sprinting on a treadmill next to another person who's sprinting on the treadmill, next to another person who's power walking at an incline on a treadmill. And I get you to get that energy, and then I also get you that happiness of you being able to walk well, or being able to not feel low back pain or something like that. So that's all part of who I am. That's a whole part of what Inspire Health is. It's like, Inspire, do you, like, I don't eat healthy every single day, but I eat pretty darn healthy. Like, you saw my meal plan coming in today, and like, I'll have that interlaced with Chipotle. Like, right. I do what makes me happy and what works for me. And that's what I advertise.
You're human too. Like,
yeah.
No, you're going to
like,
have your days.
All of us can be human. Yeah. It's not like a cheat day. Like, I don't have cheat days. I have days where I eat well, and I have days where I don't eat that well. And then it all balances out. As long as most of my meals are fairly well, I can also have 20 to 30% of my meals that are not so good. Right. And probably like a couple of weeks where I don't see like my body's the way it needs to be, then I'll be like, okay, so what do I have to fix? Like, digestive, what do I have to fix? I had nausea, what do I have to fix? What did I eat? Like, I analyze, and then I don't eat that food, or I remove it, or I kind of modify it, whatever it is. And that's how life is. Like, that's what I learned from nutrition. It wasn't be super strict, because when you're super strict, like, that only lasts so long, and then you just kind of fall off the wagon.
Right. No, yeah, man, that irks me the most is when, like, you see these pages, you see these people promoting these things, promoting this product, or promoting follow my online plan, or follow my online whatever, blah blah blah, and it's just like, but what? You have a nice body and all that, but like, what gives you, like you said, bro, what gives you the right to start spewing out all this shit? Not to say it's wrong, but sometimes it is.
Yeah, I mean, well, there's been articles and stuff where they say that the Instagram models are the ones that are giving out all this wrong information. Like, more than 80% of the time, you're gonna get wrong information from them. It's like, but then who goes after them? Who's telling, like, who cancels their Instagram page? Like, nobody does that stuff. They just keep on doing that. They remove the post, or they flag the post, or whatever it is, and then it's gone. But like, no one came after them. No one came after their money. No one came after their job. Like,
it's just there's so much of it. Like, it's hard to.
It's very hard to police it. You can't police it.
Yeah, exactly.
And I'm not the one that's gonna be out there and being like, yo, Instagram, come check this person out. Like, they fucking up. They fucking up over here.
I mean, it is what it is. I'm not gonna fuck with nobody's hustle at the end of the day. You get me? But it just sucks sometimes, because you see it, and like, fitness has blown up over the past few years. Like, it used to kind of just be like, people dabble, you know, people go to the gym, you have your gym membership, you know, obviously new year, new me, January, February, it picks up. But fitness and a healthy lifestyle nowadays has become like its own, what's the word I'm looking for?
It's commercialized.
It's its own monster now. Yeah. Like, that's not everybody's, but like the majority of people, their go-to. Yeah. You know, like, I'm gonna start a fitness page.
Yeah, that's social media.
I'm gonna start this. I'm gonna start filming my workouts. It's interesting, because especially since we grew up, and when we grew up, like, you didn't really see that many people doing it. Like, we had weight training in high school and shit like that. Yeah. We kind of did it on a personal level. Like, we knew people who lifted and did that shit, but like, the fact the way it's blown up, the products, the filming, the online.
That's the thing. So like, everybody wants I think everybody wants to be a star in a sense. And so like you'll have people that are just doing a regular ass workout at UFC and have somebody who they hired for like $250 for the month or whatever to make videos about them. And like the person's like literally just there with the camera going around. The person's doing bicep curls, like, but they're making the bicep curls look epic as fuck. They make them look super, super glistening, you know? But like everybody wants that for themselves. They want to look like they're the superstar. I feel, I don't know. For myself, like I've done that stuff. Yeah. You know, I've been in videos and stuff like that, but help a friend, you know, be a model in a shoot or whatever. For sure. I mean,
at least I guess like my biggest thing is just like, I just want it to be from like a genuine place. Yeah. You know, like that's my biggest thing, you know, like people helping people, you know, like, and I feel like it's just a lot of selfishness when it comes to the fitness world. Yeah. That's just me though.
For sure. But, no, I agree with what you're saying. Like some people, and people do it out of the bottom of, some people do it out of the bottom of their heart, where like, you know, I lost 60 pounds and I want to show people how I did it, or I want to inspire other people to do the same. Like I did it, you can do it too. So all they do is like, you know, I'm posting up all this positive stuff, and that's good. They're putting positivity out into the world. You get into trouble where you start prescribing things like, yo, if you want to lose 60 pounds, then don't eat for 3 days, and then only eat fucking Fiber One bars and drink a lot of water for the next 3, and then, you know, just have protein for the next 6 days. Like, bro, where did you even get that? Like, oh, this research article that was in like some third world country. Nah, bro.
Doesn't make sense.
No, it doesn't. But they saw research and they're quoting research, so therefore you should listen to the research. But you don't know who funded the research. You don't know what product they're trying to sell. You don't know what lifestyle they're trying to sell based on who makes the most money. I don't know. But yeah, there's a lot of lack of responsibility, lack of policing, and it's just the game we're playing, bro. And the best thing I can do is not get frustrated by those pages. If I see a page that's like that I follow and they're posting up nonsense, and it gets me frustrated every time, I just unfollow. Like, I don't need that in my life. You can click the off button and you're good. You don't have to see them again. You don't have to think about them again. And that's it. And same thing with you know, sometimes personal trainers cross the boundary between like, you know, I can fix your hip issue. I can fix this. I can fix that. Like, just come to me. Don't go to a PT. Like, yeah, so you get a little cocky, right? Like, and then, but what happens when that person like really gets fucked up? Like, maybe you should go see a PT now. Like, wait, but didn't you say you were better than a PT? What's going on? But it's all has to do with like Medicare or like healthcare these days. I think that there's a big disconnect between patient care and being able to make ends meet. You know, so like insurances aren't paying out for you. Like, say you, Ron, you hurt your shoulder, you're coming to me, you have insurance, right? Your insurance, now I don't know what your insurance is, but I know that at the end of the day, for your session coming in, I'm getting paid $20. I got bills to pay. I got loans, man. I got over $130,000 in loans. Like, I got shit to do. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's tough, right? So, yo, Ron, I'm gonna see you. I'm gonna treat your shoulder, but I'm gonna let my boy over here do it for me. Like, I'm gonna watch him do it from a distance while I treat 3 other people at the same time. So you're not going to get better. I'm going to keep on charging your insurance every time you come in. So I get $60 from you or from your insurance for the week. I see you for as many weeks as I need to, and you're on your way. You didn't really get better. And then you say PT sucks. I'm going to go to a personal trainer where I get one-on-one. I pay the trainer however much an hour. I'm getting one-on-one treatment. I feel like I'm being listened to, because someone's actually paying attention to me. If you have a good trainer,
they're going to feel like a priority.
Correct. Right. And so then PT gets a bad rap. And I'm not saying all PT clinics are like that, but you know, you're put in a situation where if you're not getting paid, you need to find a way to stay open. Right. And so I don't blame them for it, but it's got to come to a point where you like, are you giving people the care that you say you're giving them? Like, probably not if you're seeing 4 people at the same time. But I understand your point. I understand the fact that you got kids to feed. I understand the fact that you got to make your money, but you know, at the expense of good quality care. Like, that's where I kind of draw the line. So you can do stuff pro bono to help out, but for me, I just decided to do all private pay. So everyone pays out of pocket, but you're going to get me for an hour, and you're going to get my education for an hour. And the 3 years that I studied in PT school after my grad school degree, or after my undergrad, you're going to get that. You know, you're going to get that education and you're going to get that care and you're going to feel like you're being heard. And so moving forward, like I've typically found that my outcomes are better in a shorter amount of time based on the fact that I am expensive and you don't want to see me that often because you can't afford to see me that often. That's okay, because you're going to learn about your body as much as you can so you can do shit on your own and you can feel empowered to be better, you know? And then by the time you leave me in 6 sessions, you know everything about your shoulder, right? Then you hurt your knee and you're like, damn, Juan taught me everything about my shoulder. You can teach me everything about my knee. So I'm going to come back. I'm going to tell my friends to go see Juan because he fixed my shoulder, he fixed my knee. So that's kind of how I do my stuff. My word of mouth is how I do my advertising.
Maybe these two maybe kind of don't correlate, but maybe you can like tell me and inform me. Yeah. With fitness blowing up the way it did and PT, and I know a lot of people aspire to do physical therapy and stuff like that. With it getting more popular, do you think it makes it more affordable since there is like more people trying to do it? Does that make sense? Did I word that right?
just to reemphasize, like, you let me know if I understood this correctly. You're saying because there's more PTs out there nowadays, it should be more accessible to the public. Or
right. Does it make it affordable, or should it make it more affordable, or should it kind of just be it is what it is, yo? Like you said, like I gotta. This is what I'm charging, and
yeah.
If you want to find somebody cheaper, go find somebody cheaper, kind of thing, you know?
That's how I kind of have played it. Like people sometimes will tell me my rate's too expensive and then they'll go see somebody else. I'm like, all right, go see that guy that's going to see you with 3 other people. Like, it's cool. Like, I don't mind.
I'll be here when you need me.
That's pretty much how I play it.
You'll be back.
Because when it comes down to it, like, you know, you show someone empathy, you show them that you care about them, you show them that you care, like, that they do get to work out the way they want to, that they do get to feel no pain when they see you. But as far as having a lot of PTs out there, it just makes it harder for PTs in general, not necessarily the public, because there's no correlation between having more access to care, having more practitioners, or cheaper access to care, having more practitioners. It just makes it, I feel like, easier for insurance companies to like pay less. Right. Because there's so many practitioners. Right. You know, because everyone's sending their notes to the insurance company saying, hey, we need to get paid for this. So like the amount of notes that the insurance gets to have to pay out is much more. So what do they want to do? They want to save as much money as possible. So what are they going to do? They're going to deny 50% rather than 30% of those notes, because that extra 20% is like saves them money. So insurance companies, I feel like, just will go the opposite way, and it just becomes harder for the practitioner. And then so if it's harder for the practitioner to get paid, then the person that suffers is a patient. Right. I feel, just because practitioners are going to find a way to get paid, whether it comes to having more people in a session, or I don't know what other way they're going to find to pay. I don't deal with it. Right. I don't deal with that shit for a reason.
You simplified it for
start
yourself.
Doing the math. Yeah, man. Yeah. Like, honestly, I'll see 6 patients in a day. Be good. You know, and give them the quality care that they need, because I'm not seeing 15 patients, because I'm not seeing 20 patients a day. Those clinical rotations that I did where I would see 22, 23 patients in one day. And by the end of it, you're just fried. Right. Like, you don't want to see it, like, you can't.
Yeah, I was just going to say, do you limit yourself on how many people you see and how many people
Anywhere
you can take on?
Anywhere from 6 to 8 is gravy for me. It's nice. And then I coach like 3 or 4 group fitness classes. So I'm working like 12, 14 hours a day on my long days. And I'm fine at the end of it because my hands are good. Like, I'm not overly doing anything. I'm not writing a shit ton of notes and like staying after work forever. I can get my notes done pretty easily, you know, because the workload is so low. But it's really a regular day. It's it's an 8-hour day, for PT. But yeah, that's kind of where I'm at right now.
For sure. And do you see yourself kind of like, for example, like in the future, do you see yourself, I know you're a big sports fan, would you ever see yourself maybe kind of going that route? Eventually, maybe like working for a team or a league?
No, man. I feel like that's so much stress for the benefit. Yeah, like, because imagine.
I'm curious.
No, it's fine. It's fine. Yeah, imagine the pressure that, like, was it KD? KD, he had for his Achilles.
Yeah.
Like, how much pressure? That. Imagine being like, yo, KD, like, your Achilles is about to snap like a rubber band that's all dry, but like, you can play if you want to.
Right. Like, I got this cortisone shot that I can blast you with.
I got some stuff that it's not going to make you feel any pain while you do it. And then on national TV, the guy blows his Achilles. Like, yo, Juan, why are you telling me he could play? Like, I didn't do that.
I mean, I didn't really tell him he could play. He had the option to play if, but he also had the option not to play.
So that amount of pressure is not something that I want to deal with, especially with a good team. And like, honestly, I don't know what salaries are these days. I really don't. But to me, the salary's not worth it. It's I'm more about the connection that I make with the people that, they want to lead that healthy lifestyle and lead and play with their grandkids and all that stuff and be able to keep up with their grandkids and they can't because of their bum knee or their shoulder or their ankle, whatever it is. And then so fix that up, get you going, and like you can do your group fitness, you can get your cardio up, you can do what you need to do, and then continue to live your life, pain free or pain managed, in a certain way, or educated about your body so that you can handle the pain when it comes, and you know what to do, and you don't need to feel like you're panicked. Because most of the time people address their pain and it exacerbates so much more based on what it's related to. So like if you hurt your back and you thought you're not going to be able to work out for the next month, like what are you thinking? Like, fuck, that sucks. Right. But if you came and you saw me and I'm like, hey, you hurt your back, but guess what? Like, this is what you can do at the gym. This is what is going to exacerbate your symptoms. This is what's going to make you feel better. This is what you're going to work in at the gym. This is how you're going to modify your group fitness. When the trainer tells you to do this, this is what you're going to do instead. Cool. All right, so you're going to walk into your next group fitness class being like, yo, if the trainer asked me to do this movement, I'm going to do this instead. Juan told me how to do this. We're good. I'm confident. I still have my mojo. I still feel good. I still can go to work, whatever it is, and like be happy because I got that stress relief. But if I told you, hey, Ron, you can't go to the gym for the next 6 weeks because you need to protect your back or else you're never going to be able to walk again. No. I'm catastrophizing something for you. I'm making things a lot worse than they need to be. But that's where you use your education, and that's where you kind of understand, because some people, they don't mind, some people don't mind being told like, yo, you can't work out for 3 weeks. They're like, oh, great. I wasn't going to try. I'm not going to do what the doctor tells me not to do.
Right. Doctor's orders.
Exactly. Sorry, honey. I got to stay on this couch. I got to get served, whatever. But some people, they need that. They need to be able to work out. They need to be able to go stress relief. They got a hard time at work. They got a hard time at the house, and they need to have that 1 hour to themselves. And if you tell them, hey, you can't go get that 1 hour by yourself, you're going to crush them.
Like, you're fucking crazy.
Yeah. Either you're fucking crazy, or they're just going to be like, fuck.
Right.
They're not going to get better. They're just going to get worse. So in an interview with somebody, like the first day, first assessment, evaluation, whatever, you come in, you get to know the person. You get to know what makes them tick. And based on my experience in group fitness and seeing a lot of people work out for the first time in their life, work out for the 18th time in their life, work out for the 115th time in their life, I've gotten every single spectrum. Not every single, but like a lot of spectrum and a lot of input and a lot of experience on what makes people tick and what motivates somebody. So I feel like within the first 5 to 10 minutes of a session, I kind of got the person figured out. And I know that telling this person one thing will catastrophize that. Telling a person one thing will calm that down. Just telling somebody that they're going to be okay will take their pain level from a 9 to a 6. And I'm saying, I told you at the beginning of the interview, it was like, I take a person from an 8 to a 4, an 8 to a 2. Like, I already got rid of those 3 points. Like, I don't have much work to do with my hands. Right. So it's literally just figuring out their psyche and educating them towards a goal, giving them a timeline, or giving them what will motivate them to do their shit.
Right. Because you're not going to be around forever.
So it's and I don't plan to. My job is not to see you for the rest of your life. Exactly. My job is to see you for these 5 or 6 sessions, or these 2 sessions, or this fucking eval, and that's it. Like, I got to send you home with some exercises, or I got to send you home with a plan, a game plan. How are you going to attack the next 6 weeks of your life? And if you feel that you're empowered with this one session to do that, by all means, that's it. Sometimes people like are leaving their session. They're like, so when do we do this again? And I'm just like, you want to come back next week? You want to come back in 2 weeks? What do you want to do? Right. Like, I think I can handle being on my own for 2 weeks, and I'll come back and check in. I'm like, great, let's do that. I'm a terrible business person. I'm horrible. I'm not trying to see people. That's good, man.
You're a people person, dude.
Exactly.
You're not trying to hustle nobody. You're not trying to like screw anybody over. You're not trying to rob anybody.
I'm not trying to make like a shit ton of money with this stuff. I charge what I charge because I think my hour is worth that time. Right. And if I can educate you enough to where you feel empowered to do it, then great. If you need me to structure the program for the next 8 weeks where you're seeing me twice a week, great. If you're seeing me 3 times a week, great. I can do that as well. But can you afford it? Am I going to try to make you afford it? Not really. This is a decision you're making on your own. You see my value based on this first session. You see the value on me taking you from a 9 to a 3, an 8 to a 4, an 8 to a 2, an 8 to a fucking 0.
You literally just give it, it's in their hands. You give it into the client's
100%
hand.
into the client's hands. I'm not trying to trick anybody, like I said. Very straightforward with everything, and I've been this way my entire life. So, like, why have a hidden agenda? Why try to tell someone, hey, come back and see me, 3 times a week for the next 4 weeks as a standard prescription that the doctor gave you? Like, no, if I can get you better in 2 sessions, why do I need to see you 4 times a week? Like, that's boring. Right. I don't want to see you every day.
Exactly.
Like, I love you. I love your face, but I don't want to see you every day, bro.
Exactly. Keep it moving.
I want to see you till you get better, and I want to send you on your way. Right. That's it. And that's something that I feel like, that's why I couldn't necessarily see myself doing neuro PT, because neuro PT is something that you see somebody 3 times a week and they see like very little progress. It's very impactful for the person. But for me as a practitioner, it wasn't going to work for me. So that's why I don't do neuro. I do musculoskeletal, and that's where orthopedic issues, surgeries, whatever it might be, that's what I do. So I can see progress fairly quickly, and that, in a sense, is selfish, but selfless at the same time. It's selfish because it fulfills me, but it's selfish because it fulfills me, selfless because it helps the person, and they see results faster. Right. Yeah. Right. But one thing that I couldn't stand. It was so hard as neuro PT is like, if someone's spinal cord injury is like, do you think I'm gonna walk again? I was like, fuck, man. That's rough. Like, it's hard. It's hard to say to someone like, it might not happen, and then the person walks like 6 months later, because all science pointed to it might not happen, and the person's walking 6 months later like, yo, Juan said 6 months ago I wasn't gonna be walking. And then I went to another PT and now I'm walking, and it's like, damn.
You don't want to be that guy.
I don't want to be that guy. And I don't want to give the guy being like, yeah, of course you're going to walk. You're going to do just fine. Like, no, man, you got a fucking tumor in your spinal cord. Like, I'm sorry, it's probably not going to happen, but we can work with what we got. Sure. And so that's kind of where I kind of veered towards. But God bless the people that work in neuro, man. They see a lot of results. And with certain patients, like stroke patients, really cool to see results with them. I was in inpatient rehab. I saw hemorrhagic stroke where like the brain gets a bleed, and then the swelling goes down in the brain. The person goes from pretty much being like almost vegetative, barely responsive, to like talking with you, having fun, and like laughing and walking,
smiling.
Yeah. And that's in a period of like 7 days, 8 days.
Wow.
Yeah. You go seeing someone from complete 0 to like 10 out of 10, like responsive and all that stuff. It's so good. Wow. Yeah, but that doesn't happen all the time.
Right.
It happens. Typically, I saw that with hemorrhagic, just because once the swelling does go down and the brain can go back to normal, like all functions come back. And you help out those functions throughout PT. You get the brain, like you get everything kind of moving based on stimulation that you do throughout your sessions. But yeah, it wasn't something I see myself doing long term. So I need to be able to be healthy, in a healthy mind and a healthy physical state. And like these patients, you sometimes had to put in your whole body, like lift them up out of bed. So like I need to be healthy. My joints, everything needs to be healthy. My hands need to be good. My emotions need to be good, on point, so I can help people that come in. People come in like heavy emotion, just based on the injuries that they might have. And I need to be happy. Yeah. That's it. Yeah.
So after so much time in school, after so much time working towards this, where you're at now, how do you unwind? How do you, because like the last few times I've seen you, you're always in work mode.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's great. Yeah. So how does Juan G have fun? How does Juan G kind of just, hey, I'm not taking clients today. Yeah. Taking a day off.
Yeah.
I remember you told me you went to Hawaii on your own, right?
So like when I graduated PT school, like I had saved up money for a car. I wanted to get a car, like a new car. I had my car since 2009. That's just,
shout out to the Cobalt.
Yeah,
Still
Kobe
kicking.
the Cobalt, for sure, straight up. It's right there. 160,000 miles, 162 right now, but it still rides, man. Yeah. And so I wanted to get myself a car, and then so I saved up that money. Ended up using that money to buy tickets. Like I bought one-way tickets from Florida to Los Angeles to Kauai to Oahu to Australia. And I took a vacation, man. I took 5 weeks off of working. I was like, yo, been working for 7 years. I've been in PT school for 3 years, been busting my ass, like 60 hours of studying, work, school, full-time student.
I deserve this.
Yeah, right. Dude, I need time. And that's what I did. I took time, and I realized what I needed in my life was that I needed a release, and I needed to understand what made me happy. And so when I was in Australia, like, believe it or not, it fucking rained every day. Like, I was over there, and they're like, "This is the worst weather we've had in 3 years." I was like, "Fucking great, man!" That's I picked it on point. You know, that was the first week of winter for them. But I went in June, and.
You went out there solo, right?
Everything was by myself. Yeah, after LA, because LA was my brother. That was for like 4 or 5 days. Everything after that. When I got to Kauai, and I got off the airplane, and I got into the airport, and the airport was open air, and there was chickens inside the airport, roosters. I was like,
"We're here.
Yo, this is real. This is real." I got into a Jeep Wrangler I rented. Shout out to the Wrangler. I got into the Jeep, and I was like, my hotel check-in was like at 3 p.m. and I had time because I got in there at like 10 in the morning. I was like, what am I gonna do? I can't check in my hotel. I was like, fuck it, dude, I'm in Kauai. Like, I just ride around in the Jeep, whatever.
Top down.
I followed a sign that I saw, because Kauai, by the way, is just one road all around the entire island. Yes. And it's got like little auxiliary roads to get to like whatever you want to get to up in the mountains or wherever you want to get to in your little neighborhoods, but it's like one main road all around the island. So right from Lihui Airport, I went up the road, and I was going towards my hotel, and I saw something like Wailua Falls or Wailua Falls, I think it was. And I just followed the sign. I was driving up like this like very narrow road or whatever, and there was like a bridge on the right and like open space, and there was a lot of people like looking over the bridge, and I was like, I wonder what these people are looking at. So I went in and I parked my car, and I got out. I walked to where the people were looking at those 2 huge waterfalls. Boom, coming down. And I was like, that looks awesome. And then I saw people down there, and I asked one of the locals that was out there. He was making like these roses or whatever out of like the straw, like you know how they do,
like the palm
palm frond things. Okay. And so I asked, how do I get down there? He's like, yo, you have to hop the fence, and then you have to go down this like really super muddy stretch that's kind of sketchy. Do that, and then you have to go down there. It's like a 10-minute hike or a 10-minute walk, whatever. I was like, all right, I'm gonna do that.
Cool.
So I was wearing clothes like from whatever the plane. I went to my car, I put on a bathing suit, like just literally walked, hopped the fence. Like, I didn't give I was waiting on nobody. I didn't have family with me, so I didn't have to understand. Like, I didn't have to walk
just
my
living,
mom
dude,
down.
Just living.
Yeah,
fucking.
Just doing it. I hopped down, fucking slid down the mud, like got to the bottom, and I was in presence of these 2 huge waterfalls, and I realized it was over. PT school was over. Like, I had passed my board exam, all that stuff. All that was a relief, and I was here to enjoy life.
Just soaking it in, dude. Just taking it.
Literally what it was, man. And I walked up to the waterfall, and I jumped in the water, and I just smiled.
Enjoying paradise
just
type
smiled.
shit.
Yeah,
like,
straight up.
And it's crazy to think like people live there.
Yeah, people live there. Yeah.
Yeah, I might be going out there in November on my own. I'm trying to have that little excursion out there to Maui.
Yeah.
Trying to go surf, just bum out on the beach, a little Airbnb right across the street, just hang out.
That's the way it is, man. That's honestly like that. Like, Kauai is one of those places where it's all nature. Like, for the most part, all nature. Like, there's a little bit of touristy, but not too bad. Like, you'll never see greens like that ever again, other than Kauai. Sure. Maui is like the between Kauai, which is all nature, like 90% nature, and Oahu is a lot more urbanized, a bit more, unless you're going to like the North Shore, it's a bit more touristy down south, and like the main in Honolulu, Waikiki, like all that stuff, that's super urbanized and populated. Maui's like in between. Maui's like 50% Oahu, 50% Kauai. So there's places you go and you're gonna find nobody. There's places you go and you're gonna find people.
Everybody.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
But definitely it's a good mix of both. And like, if you have the opportunity, it's a $70 flight. $70 flight to Oahu, $70 flight to Kauai. It's like a day.
Oh, for sure.
You literally can go to Kauai, ride around the island, and then come back on the same day.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Yeah, for sure.
It's literally a 30-minute flight. It takes you longer to be in the airport, but like obviously
it's like from here to Orlando.
Yeah.
Like 45 minutes
Exactly.
maybe?
It's like an Orlando flight. And so you have time to go and like drive around the island, see the North Shore. It's do it.
For sure.
Do it. If you have the time, do it.
Yeah, and then
do it.
Tickets for that time are like $700-800, not even that bad.
Yeah.
Dude.
No, I mean,
trying to be out there like a week and a half.
Yeah, be good.
Chilling.
Be good. I was there for 5 days. 5 days there. I was 5 days in Oahu, and honestly, I'd spend all 10 days in Kauai if I could. Like I could have lived.
You're selling, I'm sold, dude.
No, I could have lived. I could have lived without Oahu. I would have been fine. Straight up, hiking. I hiked. I watched the sunrise, bro. There's no snakes on the island, just so you know.
That's awesome. I don't like snakes.
Hike barefoot. Hike barefoot, dude. Like, feel the sand, feel the mud, all that stuff. Like, that's just true. You're literally walking on a volcano. That's just true. It's true, man. Like they say, you know, talk to the earth, all that stuff. Like, go barefoot. Like,
I'm straight avataring it right now.
Yeah, you have to. You have to, dude. Straight
I'm being one with the
yeah. That's the way to do it, man. Honestly, it's good. It's good. And like, yeah, your feet get used to it after like the first hike. The rest is like, you're good to go.
For sure.
Yeah.
So, what's next for Juan G? What's the? I don't want to say 5-10 year goal. What's next year?
So tell me about yourself, Ron.
What's the?
I get you. Honestly, I'm working with a couple projects for group fitness right now, where I am part educator, part program design, part instructor. You know, and kind of building that brand going on and moving forward to incorporate some kind of PT or some kind of education behind their program design. So I'm working with that company. I'm working with another company as well that's doing, they're having rapid expansion over the next couple of years as well. So I'll be kind of one of their main trainers as well, because I got in on the ground floor for kind of both of those companies. And moving forward, I think, if they let me work for each other, you know, like, that'll be great. Like, I can work at the same capacity for both companies. It would be awesome. I doubt that's going to happen, but we'll see. We'll cross that bridge when we get there.
You're too valuable, Juan. Pick one.
I've been, like I said, honest from the beginning with both companies. Like, yo, I work for this company. Is that okay? Yo, I work for this company. Is that okay? They're both like, yeah, straight, fine. But like moving for now. For now. And in the back of their mind, they're like, for now. And I'm just like, great, I work for 2 companies. Awesome. Cool. And then I have my Inspire Health PT brand, which is now kind of meshing with another company where we're doing recovery and performance. So I have my foot in many different things, which is always great, because I learned from my experience with Orange Theory, like, if you put all your eggs in one basket, like, typically it's not gonna work well. Something's gonna happen where, like, you know, it's just not gonna work. Right. You gotta have multiple sources. You gotta have multiple sources, and you gotta be able to diversify yourself, because if you're only one thing, if you're only one brand, if I'm only Mr. Orange Theory, what happens when Orange Theory goes to shit? Right. Like,
not to say it will, but I mean, you never know.
No, you never know. Right. But God forbid something happens to the company that you work for, or like you got that 9 to 5 with great benefits and all this stuff, and guess what? They're downsizing, and your position's not really that important, is it? Right. So, good luck with your family, but you ain't gonna bring home the money for the next like 6 months, 7 months till you find a new job. Take care. Sure. Like, come on, bro. Like, you didn't have a plan B, plan C, plan D. I don't want to be that person. I don't want to be left in that position. Thank God that the degree that I have gives me that versatility. And thank God I hadn't had to like apply for a job, because I fucking hate interviews, dude.
That's right, bro.
I can't. Like, I am who I am. You know, I'm gonna be honest with the person, but like, I don't like interviews, and I'm not trying to impress somebody. Like, I am who I am, and that's what I can do with my patience.
Honestly, and like at our age, dude, we're still young, and the fact that you can still you have that, you're in that position where you can work for yourself. Yeah. Like, you are what you're like. You are what. Yeah, I'm the product brand. Is. I'm the brand, I'm the product. I'm the like, you're everything. Mm-hmm. And nowadays, dude, you can't ask for more than that, bro. Yeah. Like, I know a few people that self-employed. They're doing it on their own. They have their, either whether they're selling something or they're doing this or that. Mm-hmm. Their foot in different doors. It's all them. Yeah. And now that you can't ask for much more than that, bro.
Get your shit to work. Get your shit together and do what you got to do. Give yourself a timeline. Give yourself something that's going to get your hustle going, and then move from there. But yeah, you only have one person to talk to. That's your own boss. Right. That's good, man.
Hey, brother, I appreciate you coming through, sitting down, talking to me. I've learned so much. This was super easy. We got to do this again. Yeah. Go grab a drink. Yeah. Show Juan G some fun. Yeah.
Maybe on a night that I don't have to wake up like
exactly.
Early.
Yeah. Let's get you out of here, bro. I appreciate it again, Dr. Juan Guzman.